Hey guys, it's Molly. I think with this class, one of the affirmations about scripture that has challenged me the most is probably when we were in the week intensive and we were talking about the fact that scripture isn't necessarily a tool to be used by us. And I think that really challenged and convicted me because going into this class, when we wrote our one sentence theology of Scripture, I actually had cited Scripture as a tool that we use. And I think that that causes a little bit of confusion and it gives us a tendency to try and manipulate Scripture to be something that we want it to be instead of approaching Scripture with a sense of awe and wonder and really just allowing it to be what it is. And I think that if we take that and apply it, that sometimes we do that with God too. We expect God to be a certain way. Um, Sometimes we put God in a box, which is kind of overused, but it's truthfully something that we do. And so I think that I've really discovered, and this class has helped me to kind of realize that scripture is what it is. We can't go to it and try to push and manipulate it into something that it's not. We can only approach it and allow it to be what it is. And what it is God speaking to us and God meeting with us. I would describe scripture more as a meeting place where we get to come and God meets with us through His Word. And so I think that's really special and really valuable. And I think it's especially challenging, especially when we're in positions of teaching or leading a small group, that we can actually tend to use scripture more as a tool, especially when it comes to like stuff like proof texting, when we're trying to prove a point and we come to scripture with our point already, and then we take and grab verses to kind of enforce that. And I just don't think that's what scripture is for. And I'll be honest, I've done that in the past, and I think that it takes away from the beauty of what scripture is meant to be. And I think that we can all kind of challenge ourselves, especially myself or anyone who's kind of in a position of teaching, that instead of kind of coming up with our points beforehand and looking for scripture to reinforce our points, we approach scripture and kind of have a sense of openness about it. And we're like, okay, what does God have to teach me through this? What is God trying to say through this? And how can I get behind and support what God is already saying through this instead of the other way around? And I think that this is something really valuable for any person who has a relationship with God to understand, that we aren't meant to take scripture and twist it and use it to meet our needs, but instead we can approach it with open hands and kind of allow God to use it in our lives in whatever way that He chooses.